Hey, John. Marianne.
Sabrina Carpenter is now being called.
Yep, that was the one that cut me off last time I was playing. I don't know why. It's unreal, if you ask me. Volume is too low? Hold on. Is that my volume or I just seen it now. I'm not hearing anything. I got it turned on. Let me try something different here. I'm gonna add it back in. Hold on. Is this any better?
And as I was talking to a fella there today, where I'm down in Donegal with my daughters and granddaughters, they all there in line dancing competition. I'm down here with them, supporting them, and I was talking to a fella. He's 74 years of age, He's an ex-IRA man. And I told him I was an ex-Irish soldier. Even he said, sinners have lost the plot. The hunger strikers will be turning in their graves if they're seeing the woke new Sinn Féin.
Is that any better? I was tying in all the platforms. That's why I didn't see your things. Is there sound now?
Of today. So what does that tell you? Irish people, get together. Get these bastards out of office. Lock the country down. We all know hardship. Our parents and our grandparents knew hardship. We are revolutionaries. When we hadn't a pot to piss in, we got by. We'll get by now. And
I don't know what was wrong. It was all on. It was all on. I just turned it all off and turned it back on.
Time for the new generation to learn how to fucking cook.
I went back to the original Rumble, not that tried to do the beta. The beta one just been cutting me off, you know. Yeah. I wanted to finish the one I was doing the other day when it cut me off. I was trying to do the newer beta version of the Rumble, and twice. Well, one day it cut me off like 30-some minutes in, and the last time it was about an hour.
Learn how to fend for themselves, because if they don't, they'll be laying out the side of the ditches. Look at your parents. Look at your grandparents. They learned hardship the hard way. It's time you learn hardship the new way. We're not going away. This country is going to rebuild.
When it first started, I was on the other tabs, tying them all in.
Better than it has ever been when we get rid of these fuckwit politicians.
Some of the platforms, you have to manually start them. You have to manually go in and click on certain things.
Who think they control us.
Hey,
we
Tammy.
Control them. We put them where they are. They're getting the money they're earning because they were supposed to look after us. We're going to fucking make sure that they are fucking destroyed. So lads, lassies, people of Ireland, keep it going. Because we have the foot in the back of their necks and they're shitting themselves. All I can say is, our day is going to come.
Geez, that's kind of going on in Canada too. But they're not cutting the taxes.
Their day is coming to a fucking end.
Same thing here. They went and raised all the carbon taxes. I think they went up by 25% or something like that. And so they're going to take off 10% of that 25%. So they're still going to collect the other 15%.
Let's keep it going.
On top of what they were already collecting.
Irish and fucking proud. And I'll say to the people in England, get going. The people in France have started. People in England, get going, because these are next door neighbours. We've had our history. Get going. And I will say one thing. We will not be put down, especially by fucking unaccountable, incompetent, corrupt politician fuckwits that are running this country. Our time is now. We are going to take our country back. So start getting ready for a new change of leadership in Ireland, because when we come back, we're going to come back fighting. Have a good day, folks. It's a pissy day here in Donegal, but I am really, really on a high. Good night.
One of the later videos I'm going to be playing, it's about a lot of the people aren't getting housing or something like that. There's 60-some thousand Irish people on housing list trying to get housing, but yet they're building this housing for all the illegals for free. And this is part of their protest. All right, so hundreds of these Irish citizens went out and started smashing the places. Some of the cops started to stand down. Like right here, they stood down. the hell is their government doing building housing for illegals when there's 60,000 people with no housing? Unbelievable. Oh, thought I opened that.
Yeah, we're just after being pepper sprayed here in Whitegate. They were fairly heavy-handed, but at least the resistance from the people here was good anyway. They fought well, but a lot of men and women just got a lash of pepper spray into the face. But I tell you what, I have water here, buying good things. But everyone's helping out, you know. But it's like this now. If they think this is the end of it, they made a fucking mistake.
Amen. Amen on that.
So it's day 3 now of big protests happening in Ireland, where you have farmers, lorry drivers, contractors, all out protesting against the fuel costs and the rising costs. And I just want to say fair play to every single one of you out there. And I genuinely feel sorry for anyone who's been complaining and disagreeing and making a mockery out of the whole situation. God love you, you mustn't have 2 brain cells to put together. You must be living in an absolute fairy tale world. And don't get me started about Micheál Martin giving out and saying how the protesting is wrong and that people
Bingo, exactly, John. It is the NGOs.
Aren't making hospital appointments. Is this lad for real? He didn't care about people missing hospital appointments for 2 years when they locked the whole country down during that 2020 nonsense. Every time you fill your car up with diesel or petrol, the government takes 60% of that. 60%. So if they really wanted, they could put a stop to this whole situation right now. And we're expected to keep everything running no matter the cost. And the people who are growing food and keeping this whole country running are the ones that are being squeezed the most. So when is enough? Anyways, if I had my own tractor, I'd be up there with you all in the middle of it. So keep it going, lads. Fair play to you.
You gotta love the Irish accent, I tell you.
So I've just been pulled over by the police on the way to the Nuneaton protest. They just boxed me in on the motorway. But yeah, I'm free to go, so I am on the way back to the protest in Nuneaton. I have not.
You haven't? No. Have you got any ID? Anything like that?
Nothing.
No, nothing that proves to me who you are. Okay.
Why have you been following me? Because I noticed you've been following me for about half an hour.
There's some information on the vehicle, which is why we've stopped you. We just bear with us. Obviously, we've got to check that you're insured, it's your car and everything.
They know she's a live streamer, and they don't want this information out there.
That.
Okay.
If everything's in order, we'll let you go. All right?
Obviously, I know the reason why you pulled me.
Right, okay.
I already know the reason why. What? What do you want
Would you
me
mind
to
if
do?
my colleague just has a look in the back of the car?
Hello, you okay?
Going to
They're trying to find an excuse to arrest her.
something that's happening in Nuneaton.
I suggest you've got it right, yeah. Are you going to the protest now, are you?
Yep.
We'll let you go in a minute.
How would you define your ethnicity?
British.
I've only got to ask basically the form I'm filling in is I've got to fill in a form for every vehicle that we stop.
Okay.
It's because we're audited by the Home Office and everything.
Okay. How have you even got my registration?
I'm not sure. We don't get told how they get the information. We just get told there's this car, this person might be in it, go stop it. That's what we don't get all the information on the ground. We're not
Summoned to harass, right?
privy to it.
Okay.
We've literally just been told this car is coming down this road. Can someone go and stop it?
Harassment, exactly. That's what
we get told.
I was just saying,
So why didn't
Miriam.
you stop me seeing you?
Exactly.
Because obviously you were following me for a good half hour.
It's because we do things the way we do it with 2 cars and things like that.
Okay.
Just in case. It's just the tactic.
Just in case of what?
Where we could get a second car too, basically.
Yeah.
Well, are you carrying on to the protest?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, boy. They don't want this to happen, I tell you that.
The man up in the tractor just shouted down to the crowd. He said, well done to the 400 guards that called in sick yesterday. So if
400 of them called in sick.
that's true, I have to take my hat off. But it's a shame. It's a shame the Gardaí had to do what they did. But it also shows that there are some good members in the force. Fair play.
Yep, they really don't want to do it. They've been trying to call them in from other areas too, if they can. Here they come. I guess this is some of the other cops that they've called in from other areas.
is a peaceful protest. We don't need riot squad. This is a peaceful protest.
Riot gear when there's been no riots before this point.
This is a peaceful protest.
Unbelievable.
It's our constitutional right to protest peacefully, and we're coming down.
And that's what we're doing?
And we're supporting them.
That's what we're doing, Guard. We're not breaking any laws.
I'm my superintendent. Unless you are a resident in Whitegate and have a reason to be in Whitegate, you will not be allowed.
And we have a reason. We're supporting the protest.
You will not be allowed.
We're bringing.
So they can't go into another town now because there's going to be a protest there, right?
Supplies to the protest. That's what we're doing.
All day, folks. Not coming in, okay?
Why did the guards send us all around the country if they knew that back there in the other routes? Why didn't they say that to us back there? They sent us diverted all different roads, back roads, to come in this way, and they never said at any stage you're not allowed in. So that's only playing games, like that's what gets.
They give them a runaround.
People annoyed.
I apologise. I can't speak to my colleague.
I know you can't. I know you can't.
But you to be wasting, like, to be fair, like.
Exactly.
So
Where are you travelling from?
Hey, Colin.
We're from East Cork.
Look, I apologise, but you're not going to be let in, okay?
I agree.
I understand you're only trying to do your job. You're out here, and we respect
Marianne,
that.
exactly.
We do respect the force. Yeah. We do, and we respect your right to do your job. But it's our constitutional right to go in and protest peacefully. We brought a bit of food. We wanted to bring it down to them and protest peacefully. So can you tell me legally, not what your superintendent said, legally, why we cannot now proceed?
I'm going to just repeat what I've said. I've been instructed not to let any cars pass there and not to let any cars into Whitegate.
Who's your superintendent? Hello. Call her up there.
So they're trying to block them from getting to the protests now.
I'm not going to take this shit on.
But they won't cut the goddamn taxes. They need that for the illegals.
My superintendent is John Deasy in Anglish Street.
John Deasy?
Yeah. He'll have no issue with how I'm conducting myself here, I would imagine.
No.
We're not on about how you're conducting yourself, Guard.
Your job,
you're hindering us from our free travel rights.
And if the guards needed support in protest.
Boy, they can't wait to get those 15-minute cities in. Then they can really control you.
In the future, we'd be out free too. Not a bother, because we're all Irish people and we all want what's best for the country, and you're only trying to do your job.
I understand.
Then you'd never know if they're building the illegal housing.
If I got out of the car and started walking...
Oh, forget the people that need the houses, though.
Yeah, you can park the car here if you want.
And I can...
Might be a big reason why they're taking all the farmers' lands.
Walk away.
Yeah.
Lovely. That's grand. Thank you very much.
What they were choosing.
Straight.
I'm so there's so many back roads here now.
Directions what, sorry?
Wait, yes.
You're miles away. You're miles away.
Guard at the next junction and guard at the junction after that. You won't be allowed in.
But like, I thought if we walk.
Sounds like these ladies have tried every direction to get into that town and they can't get in.
I've had enough. Talking. For the last 20 years, we've been attacked by the political classes telling us how to farm in the countryside. Our family have looked after the countryside for over 500 years. We don't need townies to tell us how to farm. We're now being paid to stop growing food and grow wildflowers. It's insanity. And we're thinking of ceasing our production after 500 years.
I would for a while. I don't know. What are they going to do? They're getting squeezed out like hell. How are they going to feed? They'll probably truck food in for the illegals. I don't know.
Why the government have changed this from a peaceful protest to a not.
They're being replaced. That's what they can't get it done fast enough for them.
So peaceful one with the use of pepper spray on individuals today. I'm absolutely livid. If I wanted pepper spray to carry in my handbag to spray at people who are potentially about to sexually assault me or follow me home from a nightclub, I have been told, and women and people in Ireland have been told, if you are fearing for your safety, you're not allowed pepper spray. It is illegal here. So tell me why today a man that was peacefully sitting in his tractor protesting peacefully for the country, for the future of the country, gets his face pepper sprayed. This should prove a number of things to people. And if you're still on the side of the government, you really should be wobbling your head now. So the law is the law until the government say otherwise, or the law is the law until they want to abuse it. We're all just being played as puppets. They're doing what they want. This increase in fuel and all of the tax, they're not paying it. Oh, and all those chauffeur-driven cars that they have and all the trips that they take to America, we're paying for those. So glad the people of the country are finally starting to wake up. And if everybody forgets about this shit by the time
Colin, I'm worried that it's way too late, though.
when the next election comes around, I swear to God, if you continue to vote for the same gobshites time and time again, the country's never going to move forward and we're never going to be any better off. Fucking.
What they're trying to do is get rid of Christianity. That's their goal. They hate Christianity.
So, folks, the protest still goes on. We actually thought it was going to be over at this stage, and Antoinette had popped in, and I had these t-shirts here ready for her. And we're asking the government to do something quickly about it. Antoinette.
100%, Helen. Needs to stop, and the fuel prices need to come down.
So, folks, what we want you to do is we want you to support these people. It's very, very, very well organised, might I add?
Very well. All emergency services are getting through.
Everybody's getting through.
Yeah.
And I know people, actually relations of my own, that have travelled to Dublin to the hospital, and they have got through. So Hall Martin, we are asking you and Fianna Fáil and Simon Harris, please, please, please talk with these people and sort this out.
Those are pretty big
folks,
shirts.
It all happens in here, in Sound Quality Gifts, Monaghan, Ireland. All right, Antoinette, you're welcome.
Those are pretty big shirts, if you ask me. I don't know. Talking about slavery and government.
Good evening, folks. How are we doing? John Malloy here. I just had to pull in for a very quick second because I was up in Dublin today and I was talking to an awful lot of people, from farmers, truckers, guys on motorcycles, people on their feet on the
enlarge
the
that to read it there, John.
and so on. And the atmosphere was absolutely electric. The young lad there playing guitar and all that, brilliant. Now, I had the opportunity of taking the mic and
can't swim, huh?
to people.
Not too well.
To everybody that was there that listened, thank you very much. I really appreciate
Send them back.
Applause and all that goes to that.
Need a bunch of Trumps in a bunch of these countries.
A phone was handed to
just
me.
right there.
A train
Not
coming
in
in from
Scotland.
Cork. And I couldn't
get harassed by
what I was
foreigners.
seeing.
Pretty old time.
The POU,
But the
had got
majority
into
of the
Cork
time,
and had dragged
good, Colin.
men that
Maybe
were
they'll go
standing
home.
there, as they were told to do,
Colin, you know what the key is?
with their hands in their jacket pockets. And
The key is to get the government to stop giving them free money. They keep handing them free money, they'll keep coming. They got to stop the handouts of your tax dollars.
their heads bowed. The POU went in there and they hassled them, they hired them, and they pepper sprayed them. Now, this was a direct order
You're right, Tammy.
from
Let me
the
catch up here.
government, the Garda Commissioner, and
You
maybe
can
our
read it better if I
president,
bring it
don't
up
know.
on the screen.
But how dare
It floats, huh?
the Irish government turn like
You got those big tugboats you could load up and ship them back across the thing. At least save England from the rest of the Europe.
that on the Irish people? How dare another Irishman do that to an Irishman in this day and age? Absolutely shameful. Now I'm led to believe that the army, the Gardaí, are on the way over to Galway ports to do the same thing there again. It's absolutely disgusting. It's tuggery.
And it's the NGOs that are shipping them in.
And it's against the constitutional rights as well. Because as Irish people, we're allowed to peaceful protest. And every one of these protests or demos that I've seen around the country, they're peaceful. Lanes are opened, everything's done above board, and even ambulance crews and everything else are coming back and saying, look, lads, thanks very much for everything. We appreciate you leaving the roads open and all that goes with that. Because this is an organic movement. It's not political. It's purely an organic movement. And it's an organic movement that's growing with momentum throughout this country. The government are on the back foot They're on the back foot since last week when they turned around and said they wouldn't talk to the Irish people. They're on the back foot at the moment when they're turning around and saying, oh, we have a deal, but we're not giving you the deal till you stop your protesting.
Turnboat, so that's probably true.
Do they think we're absolutely fucking stupid or what?
Turnboats would be Trudeau. We used to call him the turd. Trudeau up in Canada. He's doing the same thing.
Like, this has gone beyond.
It seems like all these Western leaders are on the same page. Even Biden especially, bringing in all the illegals. And that it's our tax dollars paying for them to come in.
Fuel thing. This has gone on to the whole cost of living, housing, etc., etc., etc. So I'm saying to the government myself directly, you have a choice, guys. Either do what we're asking you to do because we're paying you in the first place. Or two, we put in a shadow government for a few months. Make sure you're doing it the right way. Or three, and I think this is the option we have at this stage, is to call a referendum by the people, like myself and everybody else out there. Call a referendum by the
They'll cheat on the referendum, but you gotta do something.
People for the people. To show that this government.
They should take that 25 cents per liter gas tax off. That's like $1 a gallon.
Is not fit for purpose. To everybody out there on the front line, to everybody that's protesting, to everybody that's going out there on a demonstration,
I'm not sure why the volume's down. That's all the way up. Is it the volume of the recording or me talking?
Everybody that's walking and talking and putting their head above the parapet. Well done. Absolutely magical. It's surreal what's happening. Absolutely surreal. But I will ask everybody to continue it. Spread the word. The stronger we get, the strength we have is stronger than the people in power.
Okay.
So this is John.
Is that any better, John?
Malloy here from the Risen People. And I thank you all so much for doing what you're doing. Doing it for our farmers, our truckers, our distributors, our country, our community, our family, our kids, our grandkids. We're doing this for our survival as a nation. I love you all, and as I always say in every video, look after yourselves. Look after your family, your community, the homeless. And let's take this country back. That's going to be ruled by the people, under the Constitution, and for the people, not by the parasites that are in Dáil Éireann. Let's do this. God bless you. You're a sound bunch.
All right, a lot of the people are pretty upset up there. Here's some more on it. Here.
Yeah. Good morning.
So they tried to have some meetings and they got nowhere with them.
It's 6 a.m. I'm in the middle of Dublin City here, and the guards have blocked off all the streets and put up barriers, closed it all off, and they're bringing in the heavies. Now, our government and our ministers have said that there's 4 E's in the protests, and the first one was engagement, and the last one was enforcement. Tonight at 10 p.m. or last night at 10 p.m. I talked to the sergeant in charge of O'Connell Street Guard last night, and I met them on the Connell Bridge, and I asked them how was, were you all happy, everything good, no hassle, no trouble, a peaceful protest. And he says, yeah, James, no bother, everything grand, peaceful protest. I said, are you happy with everything? Yeah, work away. So there was no engagement. There was no asking of to move vehicles. There was no issue. The protest is a peaceful protest which we're legally entitled to do. We have our cars closed off, and that was it. I went off, met friends, had a couple of drinks, went back to the department, and just said I'd get up and come down and just check the things, check the boys at 5:30. I came down and there was barriers everywhere. Unbelievable. The army had moved in, barriers everywhere. Now, folks, it's very simple.
Well, how much that's costing them in tax dollars doing all that? Rather than just cut the goddamn taxes.
I was not engaged with as the leader or one of the leaders of the protest. I was not asked to move vehicles. I was not asked anything. I asked the guards, and it says, "Look at James, everything's good."
I can't open it up while
for 20 minutes.
playing this, Colin. I'll have to look at it
It's now
later.
6 a.m. The streets are blocked off.
Well, actually, I won't be able to see that
beating
later,
on
will I?
lorry drivers' doors and tractor doors to wake men up trying to move vehicles.
Hold on. You find a way around
There
that.
was no engagement. The guards have broken their own rules. They have broken their own laws.
Oh, I like that guy.
And they're now trying to bully men to move vehicles off of Collins Street. So how dare they do that? It's a national disgrace. And this has been ordered by who? Jim O'Callaghan? Micheál Martin? I don't know. But it's
Colin, I'll play that next.
When the Irish
I did find a way to open it up on another tab.
their own people.
I'll have to
It's
drag it over
shocking
here.
what's going on here tonight. They did it down in Cork today. The pepper sprayed Irish. There was a 12-year-old boy in Cork. They got pepper sprayed by a guard. Now, come on. This is Ireland. What we're trying to do with this protest is lower the cost of living for everybody. That's all we did. A completely peaceful protest. Today on the Collins Street, there was live music everywhere. The place was packed. It was busier. And we're talking to the business people on it, and they said it was busier than Paddy's Day. It was a great day's business. And tonight, the heavies have moved in, and they're going to try and move all the vehicles. Now, the government have broke the rules. Nobody contacted any of the committee of the protest to ask them to move. Nobody contacted. So the guards and the government have broken their own rules. That's the point I'm making here.
They do it all the time.
The government have broken their own rules. There was no engagement whatsoever. I actually engaged with them. I said, "Are you happy, lads?" I was giving the thumbs up, happy. 6 hours later.
Oh, yeah, I got my painting clothes on. Sorry. I was
Guards, come on, wake up.
kind of had to do this.
To the government.
Get home and
I knew you were a
get this
disaster.
ready quick.
Now I know you're a bigger disaster. You're turning your own people. Your government is destroyed by this. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, you're finished. You've turned on your own people tonight in Dublin. You are a disaster. I don't know what more I can say about you. As a Fianna Fáil man rang me today, and he said to me, he said, "James, when Fianna Fáil are having their next Art Fest, they can have it in a phone box." That's the level of drop for Fianna Fáil. So to do this tonight in the middle of our Dublin capital city, you're a disgrace. You're an absolute disgrace. A shame on you. And shame on you for sending out these guards tonight to block up every street in Dublin. There's tourists walking out of hotels and they can't get down the streets. It's like you wouldn't see it in Russia, what's happening here tonight. So this is the end of this current government. And this current government who have ordered this tonight are doomed in a vote of confidence next week in Dáil Éireann. They've turned on their own people. It's a disaster for Ireland. It's shocking.
Now, Colin, how's this work? Is this going to affect Starmer at all, or is this the Irish government that it's going to affect?
For Ireland. They pepper sprayed a 12-year-old boy in Cork today. They pulled another man out of a tractor. They dragged him to the ground and they beat him to the ground and they handcuffed him. Yous are gone. Yous are finished. I'm disgusted with this. And to Ireland, up Ireland, it's the biggest rise in Ireland in over 100 years. And tonight proves this government is finished. And that's it.
Amen on that. All right, this one came from Colin. Let me drag this over here. All right, let me enlarge it. Here we go. Oh, I like this guy all the time.
This one clip says so much. A migrant allegedly harassing young girls.
Them girls there? Were you shouting at them girls there?
No.
Eh?
No. Yeah, I'm totally convinced he did nothing wrong.
Were you? Now you're going on Facebook, you little scumbag.
Oh, I seen about this guy.
Now you're going on Facebook.
I will be famous.
Good. You'll be famous, brother.
That's nice.
Yeah, famous in the worst ways possible. I'll see you in the future, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Eh?
you can see me, yeah.
I'll see you in the future, brother.
But guess what line of defence the accused shot back with?
Yeah?
Stop being
Good man.
racist. Go live
Stop
your
being
life.
racist.
Right, so the guy harassing and intimidating young girls on the street, allegedly, he's not the villain here. Oh, no, no. The real villain is the guy who saw it and got angry about it.
Eh? Watch. I'll see you about, brother. I'll see you about, brother. I'll see you after the 20th. I'll see you. Yeah, brother, I'll see you. Hey! What? Get the fuck out the centre.
I bet you the cop's going after the guy talking to him.
What? Come then. What? You fucking nonce.
But wait, there's a twist. Take a wild guess about how a quintessential soy boy who witnessed this reacted.
Hey mate, what's going on? No, this sort of fucking paedophile. What are you doing?
I just want to see what's going on.
What are you doing? Back the...
I want to see what's going on.
Sees a white man and a brown man involved in a confrontation. Immediately assumes it's his moral duty to swoop in and perform a heroic act of anti-racism.
What the fuck are you doing? Back the fuck up away from me before you get knocked out as well. You're going on Facebook as well, you fucking pedo. Fuck off.
The face of civilizational pathological altruism. The very essence of societal masochism boiled
Wouldn't surprise me if that other guy likes kids too.
down to a 30-second video. We saw yet another example of that just today. But apparently the guy filming caught 2 separate instances of the same predatory behavior within seconds.
2 seconds down the road, another guy looking down at a girl's top, no older than 12 or 13. Two fucking seconds after that video you've just saw, man.
Presumably this woman is racist for noticing too.
Just in case anyone is still under the impression that girls running is safe, I just ran past a man with his out having a... Sorry if you're my family listening to this. He was literally staring at me the whole way around, and I didn't realise until the last second. We're not making this up. This is actually happening.
Stop being racist. This happened in Carlisle, where locals are fed up of seeing random foreign men loitering around in large groups.
What's going on over here? He's meant to be segregating in a car park or something. Does that not look intimidating? What he's all doing in a car park? What he's all doing here? Just
Damn, it might come to that.
We feel uncomfortable that you're doing this. Yeah, exactly. We feel uncomfortable much. If you're just going to stand there in the car park, can you go do it in your own land? Or somewhere that you want to be instead of making other people feel intimidated? We're not your friends, pal. Don't treat us like your friends. Oh, really? You're going to just start swearing? Much I'm saying to you, you're in a car park. English people don't just stand in a car park and just talk randomly to each other with 15 years. We don't know what you're saying. You're being disrespectful to us in our land. So I'd like you to leave.
Don't click off though, because you won't believe what's happening in Germany and Spain. Clear skin doesn't just change how you look, it changes how you feel walking into a room. And for me, that's been turbo boosted thanks to Tiege Henley. I can't hide the fact that I'm getting on a bit. Or maybe I can, because people still think I'm in my 30s. My brother's in Christ. I'm turning 44 next month. Not looking too shabby though, eh? What's good about Tiege Henley is that it's not just random products. It's a full system. You feel good about $20 free gift, but only when...
I didn't know that was an ad.
This in Germany, where now a quarter of the population has a migrant background. 8 million have been added since 2005. Foreign nationals account for around 15% of the population. Yet official stats show they're responsible for 41% of SA and R cases. Refugees specifically, 2 to 3% of the German population, are suspects in 15 to 18% of cases. The numbers are exploding.
Polizei hat 2025 so viele Vergewaltigungen erfasst wie seit Jahren nicht. Das zeigt eine Abfrage der Welt am Sonntag bei allen Bundesländern. Deutschlandweit waren es demnach knapp 14.000
Maybe they just want a civil war in every country.
Fälle, 9% mehr als im Jahr davor. In mehreren Bundesländern zeigt die Statistik, dass nicht-deutsche Tatverdächtige übermäßig vertreten sind. Nicht nur bei Vergewaltigungen, sondern auch bei der Gewaltkriminalität insgesamt. In Bayern ist hierbei sogar jeder zweite Tatverdächtige ein Ausländer.
Since 2018, there's been a 71% increase in R cases in Germany. 71%. And it's likely far worse because the vast majority of cases go unreported. Then look at violent crime in general. In some major states, Syrians, 16 times higher crime rate than Germans. Afghans, 14 times higher crime rate. The proportion of non-German suspects in violent crime and sexual offences remains disproportionately high. 50% in some violent crime categories. And over in Spain, 20% of the population is now foreign-born. 2 million migrants arrived in just the last few years alone, and they're about to add nearly...
And as they get more in, that those numbers will go up faster. Accelerate. That's the word I was looking for.
A million more to that number, because just today,
because the more they get in, the more they can get in.
On the legalization of over 500,000 illegal migrants. A number which could rise to over...
Stop handing them your tax dollars!
800,000. And they're all free to roam throughout Europe's open border.
Mañana lo que se va a producir es la legalización e institucionalización de la invasión migratoria. Mañana el Consejo de Ministros va a lanzar un mensaje muy claro al mundo, que es que venir pegando una patada a la puerta tiene premio en España.
Foreign nationals are responsible for 500% more R cases than Spaniards, 414% more murders than Spanish citizens. In France, where we see the same pattern, the new mayor of Saint-Denis in Paris is demanding the same mass amnesty.
C'est un moment extrêmement important, émouvant, mais en même temps, c'est un acte de résistance. C'était au niveau national pour faire en sorte que la régularisation de l'ensemble des sans-papiers puisse être une action.
There's some in Congress that want to give amnesty to all those that are already here.
Concrète. En France, c'est entre 600 000 et 800 000 étrangers, c'est à peu près 1% de la population, c'est-à-dire quasi rien.
In the Netherlands, a country with a population of just 18 million. Same pattern when it comes to R and SA. They're adding 300,000 migrants every year. And boy, can you tell. The sheer acceleration at which it's all happening is simply astonishing.
It won't be safe to go out at all, period. Let me close that. Sorry. All right, let's move on. They're bringing in cops from outside the areas.
They're not going to be good to drag all them people out, will they? Oh, they're pulling them out. Oh, fuck.
No, boys! Know what it is? No! Your wives are home right in the postman!
Yeah. Look at all this is chemical.
What I miss about that?
Look at they're all holding on to each other. They're not moving. Ah, this poor man. Oh, he lost his hat. Pick up his hat there. Pick up his hat. My battery better not go. Oh, I can't believe this is happening.
Now, if this is Antifa they'd be arresting, they'd be getting right back out. If you're a regular person, who can pay for it? You know, no George Soros or anything to pay for it.
This is a fucking disgrace. Oh, they're up the other side. Look with all the sheets. Fucking bastards, isn't they? This is not right. Is that it? Look for it, please. What? Oh, go on, the boys. Go on. Keep it tight. Go on. Oh, Jesus, they're all in now. Oh, this is fucking unreal.
I wouldn't be surprised right now, John, if some of them are already Muslim. You already see it in London in that, where they let them have those rape gangs.
The guard asked me for a fag. He said I could do one of them fags. What did you lose? Oh, you lost something. What did you lose? No one's going to go in that river. Oh, Jesus, imagine. Jesus Christ.
They've already started confiscating some of the tractors and trucks.
Oh, my God. Go on. Pepper sprays out. Yeah.
No, there wasn't any sound at the tail end of this one.
Robert Long here for the Liberal.ie with Marion. Marion, could you tell us what are your thoughts on these protests here, having worked on O'Connell Street for so many years?
Sorry?
Having worked on O'Connell Street for so many years, what are your thoughts on the protests?
Oh, I'm 100% behind the protests. Definitely, yeah. Because at the end of the day, the cost of living, the cost of everything is way off the scales for everybody across the board.
Yeah, and you were telling me it was a very underhanded kind of method the guards used to kind of a surprise ambush of the protesters here last night.
It's just way of listening to the general public. Like, I mean, I wasn't here. Like, I mean, just hearing feedback off the general public that's in and around Dublin today. That's what you were saying. You know what I mean? That it was shooting the night. It was done.
And finally, do you think that these protests will be renewed?
Well, I hope something good comes out. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, I mean, it was very peaceful, you know, on the protesters' part. Very, very peaceful. And the whole of Ireland is behind them, 100,000%, you know.
Thanks.
Yep. Let me go into this one.
Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but as I always say, I think I'm pretty good at reading the sentiment of the people, seeing trends and really understanding how people are, you know, feeling and going through at the moment and all that kind of stuff. And I think the government need to realize they have a potential of a worst case scenario building, because it's still not looking good. I know they're talking about positive talks, you know, that they're meeting with some of the associations and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. And we'll probably know more later in the afternoon. But a possible worst case scenario for this government is, because I know for a fact the Garda, or the Gardaí, the military or the army that we have out, they're really on the side of the people on this one. And I know they got to follow their orders, and I know they got to do what they're being told to do.
Did I already play this one? I might have played this one. I might have it.
But I think that's only gonna, you know, wear so long.
Let me know in chat.
And last for, you know, a limited period of time. And the reason being is because so many of the Gardaí and so many of the armed forces and so many of the military and everything else that they're trying to bring in are rural people. And they understand exactly like what's going on here. They understand exactly what it's like to farm, to, you know, to see their business being squashed in front of their very eyes. They've got family involved in farming. They've got family involved in haulage, and they've got family involved in the pain, basically, that's being suffered right now throughout the country. And I think the government just might, I'm not saying it will, but just might have a worst case scenario that they will stand down. And that is this government done. But here's the other thing that I think could possibly happen. The amazing people that are protesting, every single one of them, absolute heroes in my eyes, even though I know it's going to hurt the country, you know, short term. But they've now, and we've now seen just how effective it is as to what they've done by blocking off roads and doing all this kind of stuff. And our wonderful government will be returning very soon. And if you take a blockade and a march and a protest in hundreds of thousands, it could possibly even hit 1 million people, surrounding Leinster House, now that they know how effective that they can be with their protests and with their blocking, I think the government potentially have a serious problem on their hands and could possibly lead to an absolute snap election. And I want to point out one man who was playing an absolute blinder. A blinder, in my eyes, is showing to be possibly the strongest politician that we have in this country right now at the moment. It's Ken O'Flynn. He is doing Trojan work. A man who really understands and has his finger on the pulse with the sentiment of the people of Ireland right now. A very smart guy. Really, really impressed with how Ken is performing at the moment. No sign of the left, no sign of, these guys, because they're utterly clueless. And in fact, they're standing with the government. And I put up a post there on my Instagram account of when Helen McAtee said, I'm paraphrasing now, you can see the exact quote, of how horrible it was to see the American government send out its military on its own people. It was around the George Floyd incident. And how it's an absolute disgrace that a government would send out their own military, their own army, onto their own people. Well, guess what, Helen? Could you imagine if you were the Minister for Defence? Oh my God. Could you imagine if you were that? It's funny how karma and things go around and come around. But there's no doubt, I was only explaining this to my kids yesterday. I have never in my life seen an all-time low, as I have in the last day or two, of a government that brought out its own army against its own people. And I think that will be the rock that they perish on. But I'm just saying, because I know they watch, I'm just saying that the government really need to understand they have a potential serious worst case scenario building right now, because people, they don't care anymore. They are just beyond frustrated. As I said, this is a build-up combination of what's gone on and how the government have treated the people of Ireland for the last 5, 6, 7 years. That's why we're looking at this here today, because people are just done. And we have one major trump card coming, and that is the EU presidency that Ireland will be taking from July onwards. And this government are going to need to sort that shit out before this comes anywhere near it, because otherwise it will be quite possibly the biggest embarrassment and egg on their faces if this is not resolved. Now, fingers crossed, before they come out and say, oh, you incited all this, because I didn't incite anything. That I really hope it doesn't come to this. I really hope that we can get this all done and we can all go back to working and living and doing our thing and just getting on with life. That's all most of us ever want to do. So I really hope the government take their finger out, stop looking down at your nose on the people of this country. We're not all wrong. We're not all far right. We're not all crazy. And I think you need to be very careful with the dialogue and the words that you come out with, because if anything, it's you guys who are inciting this. Now, you'll have your conspiracy theorists saying that's exactly what they want. But it is you guys who are saying things and that are infuriating the people of this country. And I have never been so proud of the farmers, the hauliers, and everyone else that's doing their thing. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I just hope it works, because we all just want to go back to work, do our thing, and get on with life. But I just wanted to put this video out to say there is a potential worst case scenario for this government. And if it happens, every one of them will be gone. Except for Ken O'Flynn. Ken, I really fucking admire what you're doing, mate. It's really, really impressive. And you are fighting the fight on behalf of the people. And I know there's a few more that are coming on board with you. And it's only a matter of time that any smart politician who wants to save their career will realize the right side to stand on is on the side of the people. Because that eventually will be the right side of history. Anyway, let me know what you think. Am I nuts? Am I looking way too much into this? Will this all be over in a couple of hours when they come out and go breakthrough in the negotiations? Things are good. Everybody, petrol, diesel, it's all coming down. We're dropping the carbon tax. We're dropping this. We're dropping that. That'd be great, wouldn't it? We're all back on the roads, driving around again, except for the Green Party.
They need that money. They got to keep bringing in illegals.
They'd be pissed off if they heard about that. Anyway, let me know what you think. Possible? I might far-fetched. No chance of it happening. Let me know what you think.
How about putting the tax back down to 0?
Oh God, I don't know. Oh my God.
Cops are stopping the tractors from getting to the protest.
What are they doing?
Now they're going to drag him out of the tractor and take his tractor from him.
Oh my God. Lock the doors, babe, if they're not locked. What in the name of God? Oh my God.
Look at them. Sure.
Oh my God, my heart's racing.
Come on, get over here.
That woman guard just said, have you got pepper spray? Fair play to him, it's his fucking tractor. I can't pull out your own vehicle. Oh my God, don't get out of the car now, babe, whatever you do. I'm warning you now, don't get out of the car.
I think this is going to get worse in Ireland before it gets better.
How can you be arrested for driving your tractor on a main road? In a Hada, is that even in fucking Whitegate? Oh my God, I'm shaking. Where's his girlfriend gone? She was in the tractor with him.
We're probably beating her up beside the road.
Where is she, babe? She was in an orange,
Yeah.
Can you see her?
No.
There's cars over there. She's behind these cars. I can't believe we got stuck in the middle of this. Do you recognise him, no?
No. It's a disgrace.
A disgrace.
What, are they going to convict him of driving a tractor on the road, is it?
Yeah. How do they know he's on the way to a protest and not on the way to his farm? I actually can't believe it.
Yep. It's going to get worse before it gets better, I bet.
How are we, folks? I just thought I'd jump on quick. The last 24 hours in Ireland has been mad. The scenes down in Cork, the scenes in Galway, Dublin last night. It's fucking nuts. So, I'm not going to rant and rave here. I just want to jump on real quick to just hit a point that I think that needs to be hit. And I hope people remember this when it comes up to election time. Because the point I'm trying to make is more or less to the young people of Ireland. Lads, get out and vote. I know I have loads of lads that work for me, lads around the area. Not enough people are registered to vote or even fucking bother the whole to get down to vote. So the more that you've seen in the last couple of days, all boils down to...
I think the world's starting to tune in on all this, and a lot of the elections are going toward the nationalist conservative side.
Who we put in power.
Tammy.
People have the power, but we just don't fucking use.
But the New World Order is still fighting, and they never stop. Even if, say, we win for a little while, they'll try to come back.
We need people to fucking get out and fucking vote in numbers and remember this shit that has happened. I don't know where it goes next or what happens next after this. In regards to Dublin, Galway, Cork, I haven't a clue. But I know going forward, it needs to happen. So if you're not registered to fucking vote, get it fucking sorted, because this needs to be fucking sorted.
He's right about that. We need that in the midterms, I tell you.
I want to ask you something. Have you ever read Bunreacht na hÉireann, the Irish Constitution, the document that every single person in power in this country is bound by, the document that exists not to protect the government but to protect you? Most people have never read it, and I think that is exactly how those in power prefer it. So today I want to change that, because right now, as we watch our government coerce protesters, mismanage billions, and ignore the people who elected them, I want you to know what that document actually says. Article 6. All powers of government derive from the people of Ireland, not from Brussels, not from Washington, from you. The government does not grant you rights. You grant them power, and what is granted can be taken back. Article 40. The personal rights of every citizen must be protected by the state. Your right to live with dignity, your right not to be crushed by the cost of existing in your own country. Article 45. The state shall direct its policy towards securing that citizens may, through their occupations, find the means of making reasonable provisions for their domestic needs. In plain English, the government has a duty to ensure you can afford to live, to heat your home, to fill your tank, to feed your family. These are not suggestions, these are not aspirations, these are the principles this government swore to uphold. And I want you to have this document in your hands, not because I want you to be angry, but because I want you to be informed, because an informed person is the most powerful thing in this country. The link to download your free copy of Bunreacht na hÉireann, the Irish Constitution, is in my caption below. Download it, read it, share it, because you cannot defend what you do not know is yours. This is your country, this is your document, and these are your rights. Know them.
Well, the globalists are desperately trying to take that away from us. Now, so they've been trying to block these roads from getting people to a lot of these protests. They've been starting to do spontaneous protests all across Ireland. Watch how big they're getting.
I've never seen scenes like this. These are spontaneous protests happening across Ireland. So I want to express how rare this is. Groups of people organically meeting up to protest in towns and cities across the country. Kerry, Galway, Dublin, Waterford, Limerick. What started off as a fuel protest has developed into something much bigger. It's incredible. Look at this man on his own blocking the road off. I
see they're blocking the roads.
Can't see how the government contains this.
Tractors still got there.
And it's growing and growing as the days pass. It'll have to be, something will have to be done. The government will have to make a deal or resign.
But they're so desperate to take all that money. They got to take that money for the illegals. Now, this happened with COVID. This is very similar. I remember how it was growing up in Canada. And they were all going to Ottawa and all that, and they were trying to stop them from getting to Ottawa and this and that. Here's a little clip of that, like a synopsis of that.
In Canada, the authorities say there's now a state of emergency. Riot gear.
It's got a big parallel to that.
Swept through Canada's capital.
Today, police in Ottawa used batons and pepper spray.
Just trembled already.
Look what you did to her! Medical wait times in this country are longer than ever.
The cost of living just keeps climbing.
There's a socialist coup unfolding in Canada, and we taxpayers are funding it. In the recent years, a lot of Canadians have been watching their once well-regarded country become what some are even calling...
Socialism really works when they get you really desperate. When you're dependent on the government.
Tyrannical.
A country previously hailed as the most free and democratic in the world.
In Canada...
Most of those cops, right here, most of these cops didn't speak English. They were from foreign countries. They were shipped in by the UN.
Free and democratic in the world.
I remember following that and covering that. They had guests on from there.
You betrayed the Irish people. We betrayed the sacred land that our forefathers fought. And you can smile. Go home with your fucking money.
Smiling in shame by that crash.
Should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't know how to slowly smile because you don't know how to say.
At least my grandchildren will say he tried for Ireland. Michael Collins, if he was here, he'd have a machine gun on you cunts. The people of Ireland have a different opinion on Garda Síochána, and I can tell you that much. This is all over social media, and I'm telling you, the people of Ireland have enough of your traitorism. You're no longer Irish citizens. No longer Irish citizens. They're cowards. It's only a coward hides behind that stupid badge that's no longer belong to the Irish people. Your day is coming. People will turn completely.
Walk this morning, they're getting fucking sick and they're staying at home because their uncles and aunties and grandparents are all going to benefit from what we're doing here. And you sit there and you smile. Smile away.
Smile of a coward. And I stand for the Irish people, not like ye. Cowardly fucking traitors. Go on, lads, take your overtime. You fucking traitors.
Yep. All right, here's a former poet here who's real old nursing home and speaking out against it.
Hello. I'm in great form. I'm very happy. I couldn't be happier. I want to thank Micheál Martin and Simon T. Boy Harris, especially from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to thank ye for showing the people of Ireland what an utterly contemptible, treacherous shower of gobshites ye truly are. And I'd like to thank the Gardaí, and especially that little blonde bimbo that they shifted in from Canada after she did a job on the trucker protest over there.
Not sure
I'd
what
like
that
to
was.
thank all the Gardaí for showing the country what another despicable, brutal shower of treacherous gobshites ye all are. And hope you're all proud. Black and tans are back again, and the people of Ireland have seen the truth at last. And the people of Ireland see that we don't have a democracy. We have a tyranny. We have despots up in the Dáil, and there's only one thing fit for them, to be dragged out by their hair and thrown into Kilmainham jail and left there to rot. So thank you, Micheál. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Irish government. Thank you, Gardaí. Thank you all. You've made my day. And this ain't over.
Speaking well, huh?
So, Sergeant, how come you lot as a police force are letting paedophiles free back on our estate? Well, I think you are. Why is he in there then? Or why was he back in there? Why weren't he dealt with?
The pedophile is an illegal, so they gotta treat them an illegal Muslim, so they gotta treat them with kid gloves.
Look at me all gormlessly, but we want to know, because you know what it is? You lot don't do your jobs properly. You're an absolute fucking disgrace to this country. And the less you lot do, the less you lot do, we're just going to police these streets ourselves. That's what we're going to do, pal. We'll police these streets ourselves. We'll protect our kids, because you can't.
You're filming on them.
Yeah, you film, mate. You film. Good for you. Yeah? You lot can't protect our kids, so we're going to do it ourselves. You're a useless bunch of fucking nothing. Good for nothing, a lot of you. No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. Why? Why? You got a problem with me swearing? Is it against the law for me to swear? I don't want you to be courteous to me. I want you to deal with fucking paedophiles and get off our streets. Huh? Oh, you're more interested in criminal damage than you are paedophiles.
No, I'm concerned about
You're concerned about criminal damage, but not our kids. Huh? Scumbags, man, the lot of you. Don't do nothing about paedophiles. It's disgusting. Disgusting. And if you'd have done your jobs properly, this wouldn't be happening today, would it? We wouldn't all be having to come out of our houses, would we, and come police our estate ourselves? Because you lot do a lousy job. Yeah, okay. Huh?
Deep down, you know the answers as well.
You know the answers. You know the answers. You can't protect us, you can't protect our children, and you can't protect this country. You lot are useless. You might as well all take off that uniform, because you don't fucking honour your oath. None of you. None of you. None of you honour your oath. Not one of you.
Yeah, they're trying to protect the people from lynching that pedophile Muslim guy.
You'll go back home, you'll think about it, you know, you're right at the end of the day.
And there's going to be more of this, not just this estate, but everywhere across the country. Us, the people, are going to start policing our own streets, because we've lost faith in the police a long time ago.
I think that might be the only way to start policing your own streets.
We lost trust in you a long time ago. Yeah. You know it's true as well. How do you sleep at night, man? I honestly don't know how you do it.
No answers.
I'm telling you now, I catch that guy back on this estate, you'll be dealing with more than a bit of criminal damage, that's for sure. Yeah?
Agreed.
He's more fucking interested in criminal damage than he is the fucking protection of our kids. What are you doing? Waiting for backup? Waiting for backup? They don't come anytime soon, do they? See the problem we have here? Yeah? Whenever we need to report something, you don't show up. You don't show up, but you show straight up for a paedophile or an illegal immigrant. You'll turn up for them. No, that is the truth, sir. That is the truth. That's why no member of the public in this country anymore has any faith in any of you. You lot wearing that uniform, you need to take it off, man.
Do you know another reason? That girl standing there had to go in a refuge because she lived there because of what he done. But carried on rehousing a pedo and made her move.
Disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like I said, he's more interested in the criminal damage than he is fucking kids.
Criminal damage, I don't care. Get him gone. How can you justify moving a child and a family up here? Leave a pedo on here. You can't, can you?
Got no answers, have you, Sergeant? Got no answers.
Good comment, Tammy. Good comment.
Got no answers for the people, have you? Silence speaks volumes.
So I've already told you, you've already been to the status to me, so I'm not...
Listen, I don't give a shit, yeah? I pay your wages, everyone here pays your fucking wages. You'll stand here and listen to me till I finished, how about that? How about that? Huh? Turn around and say you ain't listening to me when you're here to serve the people. What do you think you are?
Nobody likes a pedo on the estate.
We'll come out here every single day until we know that he's no longer on this estate.
He's still there. They're protecting him.
I'm going to get banned for saying this, but I don't really care because this account's my backup trolling account. Why are the men in the UK little pussies? Why are you guys not fighting back? Because the amount of videos that I've been seeing recently of you guys being assaulted or your women being assaulted by immigrants, and you're not doing anything. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna run away, run away. You guys are little fucking pussies. Little fucking pussies. That shit would not fly in the United States. And this is why we need our Second Amendment rights, motherfucker. If a bitch even tried, pow pow. And I just can't believe, like, you, low test? Is that what it is? Y'all don't have the gumph to actually stand up for yourselves, let alone another fucking person? Or are you just too worried about being called a racist? Because who the fuck cares if you're called a racist if you're gonna be dead by these people? I don't know. You know, I used to really love Europe. I used to love visiting there. I used to love, you know, exploring their history and getting to know about their kings, their queens, their parliaments, and just I loved everything fucking about it because I love history. I'm a history buff. But your ancestors would be rolling in their grave watching some of you motherfuckers right now. Grow a pair, fight back, and do what you gotta do. Okay? You are literally being conquered, you pussy motherfuckers.
Coming to America, though, sadly.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to jump on real quick just to speak about what's going on in the country at the moment. I don't usually do these videos. You normally see me swinging out of a mic or a megaphone, but desperate times call for desperate measures sometimes. So look, the government want us divided because it's easier for them to do their job if we're not together. So it is vital that we all come together.
To steal the country, it is.
People like me, they will call far right, they will say this and that. I'm just a very concerned mommy. That's what I am. We respect the farmers. You guys put food on our table. The government want us divided, so we have to unite. It doesn't matter if you don't get on with the farmer down the road or you don't get on with your neighbour. You're going to stand with that neighbour. You're going to stand with that farmer. Because we all have one thing in common. We love this country and we want Ireland for us. Do it for your kids. Okay, they're not going to have a future, but we all have to work together. You're not our enemy, we're not your enemy. The enemy is sitting up there in Leinster House watching all this unfold. They want us divided. We need to start communicating, talking. What happened in Cork is not acceptable. It absolutely broke my heart to see what happened in Dublin, but it had to happen. It had to happen. Because now you can see what the government are capable of. They want to destroy this country. We have to all unite and work together.
I agree with her, 100%. No, the strategy the Irish have done now with the tractors, they'll go like wee hours in the morning to beat the cops there from getting blocked from going to the protest. That's what they're doing. They're driving all the tractors there all together at once in a big mob. Watch this. Yep.
To understand what's happening in Ireland, it's important to look at the agenda, because this will tell you how important this fight is and why we should all stand with the Irish. The global agenda is divide, rule, take as much land as possible, cram everyone into a 15-minute city, and get them on a digital control grid to track, trace, and enslave. For Ireland, the spark was using the war in Iran as a pretext to manufacture a fuel crisis that made it impossible.
What's happening with Stammer? Are they going to get him out or not?
For farmers and truckers to survive.
He's a
Add to that the high cost of living and mass migration, and we have fire. But this is not the first time the ruling class is doing this. They did the same thing to farmers in France, Germany, and the Netherlands with heavy climate regulations. And just like mass migration, it's done by design. In 2019, Ireland banned oil exploration for climate reasons, so they stay dependent on the global network, even if they...
So now Norway's pumping all the oil out, and England's getting zero out of it, and all their fuel taxes are going up like crazy. Taxes and their fuel costs.
Could use the Barry Row oil.
Because it goes to Norway, then it gets shipped back to England when they could be just pumping it right in there. And they could be saving, I don't know how many, like $18 a barrel.
Field and be independent. The state manufactures scarcity to keep us afraid and make us believe that we're all in this together. But no, they're in this for themselves and for the global agenda. And now they send the Darth Vader riot police to shut down peaceful protesters while threatening persecution even after the protests. They're doing that because they're scared. They know that when people unite, there's nothing they can do. Ireland has less than 5,000 prison spaces and 7,000 soldiers. And between farmers and truckers, they have over 350,000 people plus millions supporting them. What are they going to do? Shoot their own people? They can't. And that's how the people win.
It might get to that.
Unity on the issue and the courage to show up. This is not the end for the Irish. It's the beginning of something much bigger.
It is. Guys stated it all pretty well.
You saw hundreds of guards turn up to beat and pepper spray peaceful protesters. But yet, over the past few months and the past few years, we've been told the Gardaí have been understaffed. And when you ring to get a guard, they're nowhere to be seen. Guardians of the peace, more like guardians of the TDs. You won't see the guards going out beating up the drug dealers, going out catching the robbers, but they'll go out and they'll beat up and pepper spray the hard-working people of this country. And you will see now with the courts and justice system, they will give these protesters a massive fine and a substantial amount of time behind bars, where the fuckers who are sexually assaulting women and the paedophiles that are crawling our streets, abusing children, they get off scot-free. The guards can use pepper spray on the Irish people, but women are not allowed to carry pepper spray on a night out to protect themselves against some men that are out there on our streets.
You must join first. I am joined. What the heck? BitChute's not working right for some reason. There's people commenting over there, but it's not working right. There you go.
2 days ago, one of the biggest producers of carrots in the country closed its doors for good. Hughes' Farming and Agriculture filed for bankruptcy, and they farmed approximately 700 acres of carrots, parsnips and daffodils, and they've gone out of business. And you just have to look at the inflationary pressures over the last 10 years and the price paid for primary produce. Effectively, the price has been eroded. The price paid for vegetables has come down since 2003. So rather than going up with inflation, it's actually come down. And the reason the price has come down has been driven primarily by the price pressures imposed upon farmers by supermarkets. And this is clearly unsustainable. And it feeds into a situation we have in this country where, 84% of the fruit and veg that we eat is imported. We produce loads of food. We just export most of the food we produce. And it's mainly beef and dairy. Primary reason for any farmers to go out of business is because they're not being paid adequately for the produce they're growing. And I think when you have price promotions consistently being delivered by supermarkets, then it's unsustainable. And for instance, just this same week, there's a price promotion on Irish bunched carrots for $1.29. And it's behavior like this that has, without any doubt, contributed to the fact that, in the late 1990s and early 2000s, there was over 600 commercial growers, and today there's 73 now, actually, because as a result of Hughes' bankruptcy this week. So how much worse does it have to get before we are importing all our fruit and vegetables? So thank you for your support, because your support means, like, our retail arm supports our farm, and we can support other Irish growers, pay them fair prices. It's a smaller retail model, but it seems to be working, and we really, really are so grateful for all of your support.
The food you'll get is probably less processed too,
because it makes such a difference. So hopefully now we're finally going to see some changes and some protection for the primary producers of this country that are in dire need of it. So thank you.
Amen on that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here in Mitchelstown with Owen Lynch, who's organised a protest here in relation to the fuel protests just in the town here in the last hour. So Owen, he drove around the town here with a number of tractors, a number of lorries. From what I could see, massive support.
Not sure what a lorry is, but...
Why did you organise this protest today?
It hasn't been just today now, and it's not just me. I came together there on the Friday, and I said, or was it even the Thursday? I can't even remember now. There's so many days it's been going on. But I will say the Friday. I just felt like I've been seeing the protests, and I've went to Cashel, and I've tried to make my way down to Limerick and stuff, and like I just feel very left down by the government, and it's not even just left down, disappointed as well, There's no chance for me to go farming. There's no chance for any of the lads that aren't inheriting it, or there's no chance for a young fella to get into farming anymore. Like, I came here today, I didn't come here to represent myself. I didn't come here to represent the farmers. I came here to represent the young people in Mitchelstown, people, businesses. I came here to represent you. I came here to represent everyone. I think it's only fair that I'm here, standing here, representing the whole people of my area and the people around me that support the businesses here in Mitchelstown that keep this country going. It's not fair what has been going on about the prices of the carbon tax and the taxes on diesel. Like, how do teachers get to school? And how, like, it's all not just me as a farmer. It's not just you, and it's not just any of the lads there. Like, it's everyone. We're all in this together. Like, and people.
Oh, it's a type of truck.
Realizing
Okay.
this now, Peter, with the support we got today.
Thanks, Joe.
It's been amazing, like that. The support we've got. I mean, there's been lads. I was talking to a lady yesterday, and I said this in my speech earlier. I said she had 2 kids, and they were both autistic, and the reason she was here wasn't just because of the fuel prices, because the government are giving her no chance. They're giving her no support whatsoever. And it's sad to see that's who's turning up. Like, it's sad to see they have to come out to this protest. That's no one's behind it. Like, it's not just the fuel crisis. Like,
so this protest now, it's much bigger than just the tax on fuel.
It is.
It's the cost of living crisis in this country. You're part of a generation.
There's 60,000 people that can't get housing, and yet they're building all these buildings for illegals to live in for free, and everything paid for them.
What, 18 years of age?
18 years of age, yeah.
Like you said,
and they're not stopping any more from coming in.
To me, only a few nights ago, you said, "What future do I have in this country, Peter?
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to build a home? How am I going to have a family in this country? How am I going?"
And probably, considering the size of Ireland compared to America, it'd probably be close to 1 million people here in America getting free housing, and 1 million people being out on the streets that wouldn't be able to get housing. These are people that are working that can't get housing, and yet
have a future in this country.
And yet they're giving it away free for illegals.
And there's many people exactly like you throughout the country. And what this protest was about it was about people being heard and people voicing their opinions. And the government of Ireland refused to meet with those who represented this protest movement. Exactly. They wouldn't talk to the people who represented this protest movement. Yeah. The first interaction and the first engagement that the government of Ireland had with the people involved in this protest was yesterday below in Whitegate, when they pepper sprayed the protesters in the face. And that was the first engagement. That was what they chose before dialogue. And that has enraged people.
And the government, and the reason, and I was talking to every person here today, everyone that came and supported, like, it wasn't just adults that were pepper sprayed. There was people there 17 years of age down to 14 years of age. A 14-year-old girl got pepper sprayed. That's our own government turning on us, sending out the army to remove us from these protests. The lads had to pull out of fines today, and there's been some agreement on, but that is not just going to fix it all. It's not fair. It's not just us contractors, it's not just us farmers, it's everyone. You look around here in Mitchelstown, the businesses are booming. You have like Super Value, you have pubs everywhere. How are they meant to keep going in a few years' time when all these, like, once they remove one tax, they'll find somewhere else to bring.
It's got the accent down.
In. And going back to your point, how am I going to build a house? How am I going to be able to move out of home? I just won't be able to. I won't be able to fund it. Like, I'm here in Mitchelstown, and I've been here the last 3 days. And as I keep saying, I'm not here to represent one party. I'm not here to represent farmers. I'm not here to represent hauliers. I'm not here to represent anyone. I'm here to represent everyone. And it's everyone as a community in Mitchelstown. And everyone I can support, I will try. And I mean, it's been a great support. We've had lads come up here, children. We had, today was the biggest support, because I think the videos that were circulating online last night really enraged people. Like, as I said, pepper spraying a child that's under the age of 18, pushing them back. There was people getting squashed below in Whitegate. It was an absolute disgrace that what went on in Whitegate, lads. And it's going on all over the country now. And I just think we all need to pull together as a community and just give it one push, because it's not going to get any better. And they always say it's calm before the storm, but the storm is here, and we could be facing a serious recession in the next few weeks. Like, and it's looking like that, do you know?
Yeah. And look, in my opinion, the government's response to the protests has been absolutely shambolic from day one. They should have sat.
Colin, how good is his accent?
Down with the protesters, should have opened up dialogue, had the diplomatic negotiations, but instead they choose pepper spraying people in the face.
Exactly.
And that is not how a democratic government operates. That's not how a democracy operates. That's how they operate in North Korea, and that's how they operate in communist China, not in the Democratic Republic of Ireland. And on that note, next week in Dáil Éireann, there is. I'm a councillor with Aontu, and Pat O'Tobin and Aontu are calling for a vote of no confidence in this government, and they've written to every party across the political spectrum, every opposition party, and are looking for all the parties now to join in a joint motion of no confidence in this government. Because me personally, I have no confidence in this government. Many people now throughout the country have absolutely no confidence in this government, and this government now needs to be held to account. Yeah. They crossed a red line yesterday. You cannot do that to the people of Ireland. You talk to them first.
Yeah, I know it doesn't look
negotiate with them first.
I would take it he was probably born there, but the parents weren't Irish.
And before that is an absolute last resort, which they decided to use as the first engagement with the people.
Yeah, he definitely sounded Irish. I bet he was born there. That's why. But his parents weren't Irish. All right, the Patriots there in Ireland have had it. They've now started burning down some of the buildings that they were building or were putting the illegals in. All the free housing. They're going through torching them. Watch this. For the housing for the illegals they were burning.
I don't think third world male migrants are a problem here in the UK. Try being a female working in construction, because I'm telling you now, they treat you like absolute shit. If you get people from countries what don't respect women, women aren't allowed to talk, women aren't allowed to do these jobs. The moment they land on UK soil, they're not just suddenly going to change their mind and start being polite to women. For example, there's 4 people working on the gate, 3 are foreigners, 1's a British guy. The British guy is the only guy who's bothered looking at the piece of paper and calling me by my name. The other ones, I've had oi, girl, and click.
So does that mean Trump looks Irish?
Click to get my attention. I'm actually working with them. They don't listen to a word I say. I might as well be talking to a bloody brick wall. But it's not the women from the foreign countries. It's not the men from Germany or the man from South Africa. It's the men from the third world countries. Starting to do my head in, to be honest. I just want to come here, do my job, be respected by the people around me. But I'm not getting that, and I can't call them out for it either, because they just turn around and call me a racist. Thanks, UK government. That's now what I have to deal with working as a woman in construction. Cheers.
Yeah, he wouldn't be treated that bad. I was in construction all those years, and they wouldn't be treated that bad, you know.
What a sunny, beautiful Monday it is between them big stacked up clouds. Now with all the communities in the nation speaking about the heavy-handed corrupt ones, yet again screwing the everyday people who keep this country going over, which they were always going to do anyway. They've been going in dry on us with years, but they've billions for overtime packages for themselves, for their useless, absolutely useless efforts around the country, trying to provoke a fight from the people, you know. But we've got this. The country of Ireland is going to lead by example. So long as James Gagan there and Christopher Duffy and all them have some kind of a network set up where there's at least 2 or 3 honest people in every county that they can vote for when all this goes ahead, you know. We got this. And all them civil servants and all you ones that creamed all the money off the top while Irish people suffered and got evicted and thrown out, and single mothers with multiple kids in emergency accommodation all over the country being tortured by all these fucking visitors that were brought here, you know. But we got this in Ireland, so long as them boys have...
That was how they were bringing down the West, as in infiltrate.
Have honest lads to vote for.
Invade.
We're not playing into the fight the government want against us. We're not going to give them cunts what they want anywhere. But did they not figure that out anyway? It's beautiful to see it anyway, guys, and I don't know why they're blowing accounts down without no warnings or anything. I'm going to try put up another one there in a while, and I might even actually post on Instagram or something. My God. But it's real uplifting times in Ireland to see that these fuckers are going to learn. And with Northern Ireland kicking off their fuel protests as well, I don't think they'll have so many PSNI officers to send down and bother the lovely folk in the south, you know. It's an interesting time to be alive. Big ups to everyone involved in any way. I've been standing back. I'm not using it. I'm not going around putting up videos of everything and everyone, you know. I could be using it for likes or gains or trying to grow a profile. Never what I was about at all. But about waking people up and finally seeing them waking up and growing some backbone. It's a beautiful time to be alive in Ireland. And as I said the other day in that first video, speaking to the people at the roundabout in Care.
I'm worried they've waited way too long.
Well, videoing myself because I don't generally be thinking. Every last move they make against the Irish people now is another nail in their coffin. And the sooner they dissolve that doll and give us someone to vote for, the better, you know. Big ups, everyone.
Yep. Here's a little music.
Enough up in the bed. This was done by the Dubliners, done by Phil Linnet. Phil Linnet. One of the greatest Irish rock and roll stars of all time. As I was going over the Copenhagen mountains, that's the energy I like. I saw Captain Farrell as one he was counting.
Yeah, I was trying out some of the new symbols, and it doesn't come up the same as what it looks like it's supposed to. It's not Arabic. I was trying to use some of the symbols in the Rumble thing, and it came up that way. I don't know what that means. Okay, Kurt. Kurt, do you know these songs? Not Cook, I mean Colin.
When somebody's chamber, taking the money with me. Oh, I never knew the danger. For about 6 or maybe 7 men were walking the Favreau. Jumped up and fired off my pistols, and I shot him with their barrels. Hey, now it's a rain, da-ba-doo-da-ba-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's the whiskey in the jar.
Class!
Being some men like the fishing, some men like the fowling, some men like to hear that cannonball rolling. Me, I like sleeping, especially in my body's chamber.
Sing
But
song.
here I am in prison. Here I am with a bullet chain. Yeah, now it's the way.
You could use a little bit better mic and acoustics, but.
There's whiskey in the jar. Okay, hand this over before I hand this over.
Can I just say thank you so much for listening to me? Thank you for letting me play here, John. It's great to see so many people. That's all me for today, I think. I might be over on Grafton Street in a bit, but that's me for now.
So, as much as I want to be making gardening content, the reality is a little bit different in Ireland at the moment. We are on day 7 now of the fuel protests. And I just want to say to every single one of you that have been out there, especially the ones that have been out there every day and staying overnight, to all the truck drivers, the farmers, the hauliers, the contractors, the whole lot of you, the whole country is so proud of you. And everybody's behind you. And the whole world is watching. And yeah, you're going to have the odd numpty like Mary there now because she might have missed a nail appointment. But forget about them. Never mind them. They're all right. And as much as I'd love to be out there every single day with you, the reality is someone has to stay back and grow the food. If you haven't noticed by now, and I've been shouting about this for many years, how fragile our food system really is. And I have to be very careful with my words here because since I've put up this video, my profile has been completely censored and all my new videos now have been completely demonetized. So I have to be very careful with how I word this video now. But if anybody has noticed now in the last 7 days, it's this. If there's one thing that they fear the most, it's unity. There is serious power in unity and people coming together and uniting. And you know what? This country has been so long divided. It has been the most refreshing thing the last 7 days, watching everybody come together and unite. It's been just absolutely amazing. And you'll see the media now trying to distract us now and again divide us and going with their stupid buzzwords and their labels and their far left and far right this. And you know what? Forget about it. Because that's their plan. That's all done by design, all these stupid labels. I never got into it because it even comes down to this colour of your skin, to religion, all these things. It's all done by design and it's to divide the people because you're so much easier to control when everyone's divided. And in the last 7 days, we can see that clearly. How amazing it is when people are united. And don't get me started about how the people in power, I don't think they've realised what they've done in the past few days and how they've treated the ordinary working man and woman and how they've retaliated is just something absolutely wicked. I've seen men being dragged out of their tractors and being kicked on the ground. I've seen peaceful protesters pepper sprayed, kids as well, women being pepper sprayed. I've seen the riot squad out and the army, again, all with peaceful protesting. And you know what? I don't think the people in power have actually really realised what they've done. Because what they've done is they've woken the fighting Irish. So fair play to every single one of you out there. And if anybody hasn't gone out yet, go out into your local protests. Get out there in numbers. Don't be afraid. It is 100% peaceful. And you know what? There's absolutely lovely vibes out there as well. So fair play to every single one of you. Keep at it. Keep up the momentum. Fair play to you.
See the tractors, see the haulers, and you see all the people. This shows, right, who the people stand with. And it's not with the fucking government. Get that smelly Mr. Burns looking bastard out of office now.
He's pushing tires up against the gate or something. I think to block the gate.
Ça va finir par l'ouvrir, hein.
Ouais, non.
Prochain passage, il
Colin, was that the green against the red? My mom used to wear the orange on St. Patrick's Day instead of the green. Does that have something to do with that, Colin? There was a divide in the Irish that way. She was a McLean, was her last name, but they mixed a lot of races actually. To be honest, there was last name was McLean, but he had a lot of other things in him.
The guards are after taking the loader off me. They want SOS to take it away, and I'm after getting a lorry and low loader to shift it. And
they're taking his truck.
Won't allow me to take it away in the low loader. I'll have to pay SOS 500 quid to take it away. It's an absolute holy disgrace.
The government's stealing his tractor, basically.
After getting my own lorry, they won't allow me to put it up in the fucking lorry. The chicken shits. 2 fucking squad cars taking the loader off me. By Jesus, this is a bad country now, lads. I'll tell you one thing for nothing. After going to the trouble of getting the low loader, they won't allow me to put it up in it.
Unbelievable. Can I play this one?
How are you folks? Councillor Gavin Pepper here, and I'm here on O'Connell Street with all the farmers, and I'm here with Chris. Chris, how do you feel what happened to you this morning?
I'm kind of upset now for the lads and disappointed. I'm fucking angry too. We rolled in here on the last Tuesday.
Oh, Catholics and Protestants.
We parked where the guards told us to park.
My mom was Catholic.
Mission sought to do it.
My dad was Lutheran.
And not once since then were we asked to move. At no point were we told you had to be gone by a certain time. Our protest, it was very clear to everybody that our protest, our assembly was continuing, our peaceful assembly, I might add it, and nobody in the city of Dublin or in the country could say our assembly here was anything only peaceful. And we were denied, I would say, due process last night because instead of talking to us, asking us where we're going to move, asking us when were we going to move, giving us the opportunity to say we were going to move, we weren't going to move, anything, we got absolutely ambushed here last night with what I can only describe as an army of the, I won't say the riots.
Good point.
Other crowd underneath them. And there was
John.
There was guards lying in the street. There was lads on horseback. You know, I thought, as I said to the boys last night, if Chuck Norris was still alive, I was expecting him to come kickboxing between the lorries. Like, it was overkill. And it frightened. It was frightening for some of the younger drivers here. Absolutely. They were terrified. They were looking at me saying, what's going to happen, Kirsty? I said, you'll be all right, lads. Just say nothing. I said, we came here peacefully and we were never going to do anything else. And so we were pushed down Abbey Street and we were peaceful there. We were watching what was going on. I don't know what the thought was. Such an operation went down that street with lads dressed in black clothes like commandos. And then the guards came at us again and told us we had to move further down Abbey Street. And look it, that was it. And we were told the trouble.
Yeah, I'm no non-denominational, Colin. I'm Christian, but I don't care because of the Lutheran, all that stuff. My wife's a Baptist, which is close to, very similar to Lutheran. Although if you go Catholic, don't go to a wedding, boy. They're friggin' long. Ugh. My one brother got married as a Catholic, and it was like an 8-hour thing for the wedding.
So the tractors, we were mixed messages that said we were going to tow them and we couldn't get them. And look, here we are now, and I think at this point we're pulling out of O'Connell Street because we've been threatened with, I don't know the law, Section 8, something on the vehicles. If we don't get out by a certain time, they're threatening to tow the vehicles on us. And these vehicles are very expensive and automatic transmissions and everything in them. And if they drive them with the engine not on and that, they could wreck them. So we have no choice. Actually, we have to move the vehicles.
That was on their sound.
I don't know where we move on from here because we and this is a terrible thing to say to the people that have followed us and the people who came with us, but I know we came united and we leave united.
Do you have any faith in the government?
Jeez, Gavin.
Do you think there should be a no confidence vote called against them, which I think they do?
It was called a traditional wedding, and a real long. You can't. I couldn't hold my pee.
Jesus, I hope there's no confidence. And I'll tell you who the power lies with now is the rural TDs and the independent TDs that are propping up the government. Because how could a rural TD or any independent go back to their constituents?
I kind of wonder if God saved me. I was actually dead. Was brought back to life. They had to revive me like twice and had me on breathing machine and the heart machine and everything. I came back from it all. Except for I word search a little bit. That's why I can't think of a word when I'm talking sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do that much. Like I used to have guests on more and talk more, and I do more videos now.
And see what was done to the farmers and the truckers and the builders or whoever we here. I can't.
It is getting better though.
Believe I'm still in shock.
It is getting better.
From the bogs of Connemara,
I think this is the one that cut me off before. I'm not sure.
To the streets of Dublin City, there's a rumble in the engines and the system breaking down. They took the turf from under us, said leave it in the ground, while epoxy suits in Leinster House keep running us aground. Now the diesel's near a fortune and the farmer's taking strain. There's a lifetime in the soil, but there's no reward in pain. And they tax us to the bone while they preach from golden chairs. In fact, a lot of them in power, do they even fucking care? We were never meant for silence, we were never bred to kneel. There's a fire in Irish hearts that no tyrant hand can steal. Oh, we are the fighting Irish and we're pushed beyond the line. They're selling out the country for a pocket full of shine. From the fields to the streets, hear the whole nation roar. We won't bow to their lies anymore. They say it's for the climate, while they bleed a strive for gold. 60 cents of every euro, that's the story never told. And they gaslight and they blame us like we're fools without a say. But we built this feckin' country, we won't hand it all away. They serve neo masters while they turn their backs on home. Spend our taxes far from Ireland while our own are left alone. Streets don't feel the same no more. There's a tension in the air, and the leaders we were given, sure they never really cared.
Sing along if you know the words.
Oh, we are the fighting Irish and we're pushed beyond the line. They're selling out the country for a pocket full of shine. From the fields to the streets, hear the whole nation roar. We won't bow to their lies anymore. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland. Those words were carved in fire, not written for display, not meant to be forgotten or traded all away. Remember 1916, lads. Remember what they gave. They didn't die for Ireland to be quietly enslaved. Oh, we are the fighting Irish and we'll stand our ground again. Not a pawn for any power, not a servant to their pen. From the rivers to the fields, let the whole island go.
Colin, what happened?
Islands are
Colin, what happened to you? Cause that? Was it a car accident or something?
ours, and we won't let it die. No Ireland's flame.
Colin, what happened? Did you have a car accident or something? I was just wondering.
If you're in the UK today, it's time to get ready, because the British government, not just today, but they've said all of this week, are going to be preparing for mass civil unrest. Of course, they call it mass civil protests, but we know what it is. It's mass civil unrest. So they're having emergency Cobra meetings where they're actually modeling, and they're doing these exercises. And this is one of the things that they have found. It keeps coming up over and over again on these exercises, and they're modeling this. So what does that tell you? It tells you nothing good is coming. And it's interesting that it's not just the UK that's doing this. Ireland did it 2 weeks ago. And I think I hope we all know what's going on in Ireland, but for some people, maybe you don't. There are mass protests in Ireland and blockades where I think it was about 500 out of 1,200 fuel stations ran dry, both because of shortages, but also because of the blockages. So there is so much going on. It's also happening in Europe. The EU are having these meetings as well, where they are modeling how they're going to deal with these crises as they come up. And I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon, at least. And the reason for that is, if you look at the fresh announcements today, and we'll cover all of this later
Colin, I was most of the way back in about 6 weeks
in the stream here. But you look at the fresh announcements, as at 10 o'clock Eastern time today, on Monday the 13th, the US is going to create a blockade. It's kind of funny. It's a blockade of Iran's blockade.
Oh, wow.
And then maybe the EU, NATO, and China will come in and do a blockade of the US's blockade at this rate. It's just kind of funny, all these blockades. And I don't mean ha-ha funny, I mean ironic. Just craziness that's going on here. So it's interesting that I said on Friday's Walk and Talk how the BBC, the Telegraph, and all these other economic forecasters all forecast the oil price going down. They said $60 to $70, and I said absolutely no way. It's going back up to $100 and upwards from there. And well, we've seen, if you haven't seen, I'll show you the charts later, but oil is back above $100 now. It opened somewhere in the region.
At the moment, it's 91. It's going to go down because we're controlling the Strait. Plus, we're putting more out in America and Venezuela.
$104 today per barrel.
We're cutting off China's oil.
And I think that's only going to go higher. And we'll come on to all the other crazy stuff as well. But let's start with the just showing you a couple of bits of evidence for this then. So number 10 Downing Street, that's the UK government, prepares for mass protests. They love this word, protests.
I hope so, Marianne. I hope I'm here for a reason. I know I didn't want... I was laying there seeing out of the one eye and could hear him, and I couldn't even move my left eye. I couldn't see out of my right eye. And I was laying there, and I know they were working on me, trying to get me back up. And I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel any pain because it was all blocked. And I remember thinking, I'm gone. And I didn't want to lose all my memories of my life. I've got a lot of very good sports memories, especially.
Living crisis. Believe me, it's not just going to be a peaceful protest. Officials hold meetings to discuss potential demonstrations as country faces higher bills and shortages of key goods. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit worse than that, let me tell you. So officials from several government departments have discussed the prospect of widespread demonstrations because of high prices and the shortages, here we go, of key goods that will involve potentially some food items. Now, I have to be very specific here when I say that, because I don't want to cause people alarm or panic. When I talk about food...
That's why it's good for you to grow at least some of your own.
...shortages, or where there's going to be shortages of food, I don't mean that you're going to go to the supermarket and it's going to be empty shelves like we saw during the COVID lockdowns. You remember that. That was unlike anything I've ever seen before. I remember I flew back from Spain and I went to that supermarket and there was nothing on the shelves. And I remember my wife saying, Neil, thank God that we prepared for this, because just coming back from Spain, we'd have been in big trouble. You know, but that was the situation. It was it didn't go on forever. It was resolved, but these are the situations I think we're going to be close to seeing, but we won't see that exact scenario again in the same way. That was a lot of that was because of panic buying. People were panicked by the situation. This time, let's say, normally there's 10 kinds of butter on the shelf. I think what you're probably going to see is there's going to be half that amount or something similar. Normally you might have all these different cereals. Well, you're only going to have these many cereals. So you could see something along those lines. It'll just be less products that often get shipped in, or
less manufactured goods would be good.
Manufactured in different ways.
Let the farmers keep growing, though.
But there should still be food, even if this continues on, which it looks like it is going to.
I think the other thing is they want to drive up the cost, make you dependent on government.
And we'll probably see a lot more domestic supply chains start to pick up and ramp up as well. Isn't it great that the UK government was so supportive of our farmers, and that they didn't cause thousands of them to close and making us that we're no longer food sufficient? Yeah, what a wonderful government that helped us with that.
I think he's being sarcastic there.
Didn't they also close down a lot of refineries, and they blew up all the coal plants and energy plants and everything else? What a wonderful government, hey? Truly. So let's continue on with this. My goodness. Fuel prices have hit their highest level since 2022 now, and this is petrol at
This video is about a week and a half old, or 10 days old.
£1.57 a litre, and diesel at £1.90 per litre. The Americans watching are going to go, what? Per litre? Per litre? Yes, that's not a gallon, that's a litre. They're also
which is a little more than a quart.
Expecting the energy price cap to rise dramatically. Sorry, let me put this back on screen. By late August, which is going to apply to bills between October and December. Look at this. This is what officials have been meeting for near daily cabinet office briefing. So this is basically COBRA meetings to discuss contingency plans for the domestic impact of the war.
Radio waves?
Here we go. Another one. One scenario war game.
Would they be on your same Wi-Fi, John?
By civil servants includes mass protests against Britain, against the high cost of living or shortages of key goods, including fuel. Well, here's a novel idea. If the government was earning this much in fuel duty before, and now the price have gone up and they're earning this much in duty, so taxes, why not just reduce the taxes? They'd be getting the same as they were getting before, but it won't be such a hardship on the people. Oh, no. Let's spend millions, wink, wink, on an app to track the cheapest fuel around the country. That's ridiculous. Let's say that you're in the south of England and the cheapest fuel is in Durham, or somewhere in the north, Liverpool.
They won't let you drive that far anyways with the 15-minute cities.
Are you going to get in your car and drive all the way up there? Of course not. The government are absolutely... They may be intelligent with all their PhDs and their degrees and all this other stuff in their artistic things, but what does that mean for the normal everyday people? It doesn't help us in any way.
Yeah, radio waves for internet. I don't get it.
Should be. You think back to the Greek society, or back to Athens in the day, and some of the other very old classical societies. The people who were the politicians didn't want to be politicians. They were made they dragged them in kicking and screaming, as it were. They did not want to be politicians, but the people selected the best people of the group. And you even remember Plato and Socrates and some of the others, the philosophers, they would say anyone who wants to be a politician, actively working to be a politician, is almost the end of your society. You're not far off destruction. And what have we got now? We've got everyone wanting to be politicians these days, and the ones who are in are just, I think we all know. I think we all know without saying it. So ministers have urged the public not to stockpile petrol and diesel, because some stations have already reported shortages and there isn't enough fuel. Farmers have complained there's not enough red diesel, and the low tax fuel used for farm machinery is being rationed very heavily. Oh, that's interesting when we talk about fertilizer.
Well, John, if it's satellite, then it's not just your immediate neighbors. It's a lot of people in your neighborhood.
Shortly. We've already mentioned in Ireland what's happened in Ireland. Over 100 forecourts are dry as of today. It says with this article, officials right now in the UK are watching the price of food because they're worried it's going to rise dramatically over the impact on domestic farming. And I wanted to show you this little clip that, remember what I talked about with Australia? Well, listen to.
I've had that when I try to go live at events. If everyone else is live at the same time, then it's hard to do it. You want what you want to do is you want to be actually live before the event starts, before they all start popping on, and you can keep your signal somewhat. It still gets a little more choppy, but I've done that.
This little clip here.
Fresh blow for struggling households tonight, with the price of fresh food expected to go up by as much as 20% by the end of this month. Retailers warn they need to pass on the costs they've been absorbing since war broke out.
Do you have Wi-Fi in your home?
Out in the Middle East.
Just to clarify that, 20%, she just said there. 20% in a single month. 1 month, that is, ladies and gents. 20% in 1 month. This is going to be absolutely catastrophic.
Never heard of that.
We haven't even gone through all the articles. There's so much more to go through. We've got loads to cover here. And just real quick, I won't tell you the whole spiel today on the program. But real quick, if you haven't looked at Digital Income Mastery, the program I've created for you all, there's a link below or in the description. I highly recommend watching this video. It tells you all about it, and it is on a pre-launch until it's recorded at the moment. It will help you. There's so many people right now, absolutely so many people who are doing this program and they're making money on the side. Now, for most people taking the program at the moment, they're not making huge life-changing money yet because we've just finished the blueprint, which was launched on Saturday. So the whole thing of the blueprint, part 1 of 3, has now been launched. Now, this Saturday coming, I'll be launching the marketing part of it. And that will be, again, a number of weeks to do the whole program. And then after that, it will be the sales funnel. So I've built them all for you. All the marketing, all the sales funnel. You just copy and paste them. And then the blueprint shows you how to find.
It's really just a number of people on it. I just looked it up there, John. They plan on having fiber optics. And if you can get that fiber optics, it'd be the way to go. That's faster than any regular internet, period. 100%. If they hook it up right. If they get a bad connection, then it's not good. But 99% of the time, it's really good.
The different digital products and services, and then you obviously put your own spin on it and stuff like that. So if you haven't looked at that, I just think it's a great...
You do know the fiber optics is close to you. Yeah, fiber optics, as soon as you can get it. We don't have it here yet either. It's like a 2 towns over.
Great way for you to make some extra income for your family. It doesn't necessarily have to be life-changing income at this stage. But, for many of you, I think it will really help with the cost of living pressure. So you can look at that in the description. But let's go back to, okay, this was the other thing I wanted to mention. The estimates as of today are that there's 7 to 9 days of aviation fuel left in Europe. 7 to 9 days, and that is it. And we'll talk more about that and how that might impact you very shortly. But there was another video you probably saw doing the rounds over the weekend. UK working on, this is from Sky News, UK working on major plan to prepare the country for war. Look, this isn't me saying it. This is in black and white here.
The fiber optics is supposed to be cheaper too.
Marshal Sir Richard Knighton tells Sky News the war plan will require British people to think differently about resilience. Now, I watched this, and he's quite
the fiber optics is the way to go.
I don't know what it is about him. I can't put my finger on it. But when he was...
It requires us to think differently about
Hold on.
And we do need to relearn some of the lessons from the Cold War. But we do it in a modern context, with modern society, with modern infrastructure.
Thank you ever so much for speaking to us today at the London Defence Conference.
It just doesn't seem right, does it? There's something strange about both of them. This reporter, Deborah Haynes, something unusual about her, and then there's something unusual about him. I can't put my finger on it. It was almost as if this was all planned out and scripted. and they're both bad actors or something. No disrespect here, but it just doesn't. For those of us who are rational and logical and we're watching this, we're like, hold on, is she an actor? Is she being given this script? Has she been told to say this? And he doesn't seem like he's talking in normal language patterns. I don't know what it is, but it almost seems as though this is all orchestrated to prepare the country for war.
Tammy, how much they charge a month?
And they're upset with the British people because they're saying that the Brits are not taking this seriously and they're not getting behind all of this, and they can't get enough British people to sign up and all this. Well, you got to think of this logically. I'm just going to say it how it is. The politicians have destroyed the country. There isn't that. You think of World War One, you think of World War Two. For those of you like me who are huge historians and we love our history, and my wife says, "Neil, you realise that you either read a history book or you watch a documentary on history every day." She said, "That is not normal." And I said, "Yeah, but it's my hobby. I love reading. I've got a whole library of history books, which I'll probably never even get through them all." But you think of World War One, and please leave.
Yeah, the overpass might be cutting down on your signal.
And World War Two. I'm thinking through it, if I were in that situation,
that's the same as I pay.
Now, and there was a world war breaking out, and there was all this going on, and that someone could invade my country, and I've got a family, and I've got children, and I've got.
It's a lot too, right?
Say, no, I'm not going to war. I'd say straight away, yeah, I'm going to defend my homeland that my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, they all fought for. They defended the women, the children who can't fight for themselves. Yeah, I'm going to go to war 100%. And for those of you who know, I was in the military. I was in the...
Damn, it's the same as what I pay, but I got regular internet, Spectrum. It's not great.
Army for over a decade. So, this is the mindset that I think...
It might cause me to get bounced off sometimes here, if the internet gets interrupted.
People had back then. You think of the mindset that the kids have now, and I'm talking about 18-year-olds. Kids, it's funny. An 18-year-old back hundreds of years ago was already married with kids, and he probably had his own farm and all sorts back then. But you think these days, what is that? They don't have any of those things that many of us had growing up. Those that prospect that we're thinking for our future, wanting to be part of the community, that British community. It doesn't exist anymore. I know people are going to get upset, and people are going to, who have been propagandized into this, they're going to get upset by that comment. But it's true, ladies and gents. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you agree or disagree. But I think that's true. People don't feel that anymore for the country. So they're trying to do all these incentives to get the British men and women to join up and fight, but they can't figure out why they don't want to join up and fight. And it's because they're...
Yeah, John, I would try to get them to make it better.
Join the military just to earn money.
If you've got a dish, they can readjust it for you. You might be able to do it yourself. If it's up on your roof and you don't mind getting up on there, you can readjust your roof if you have someone inside telling you. There's a app on the dish network thing where you can tell if you're getting a better signal or worse signal. Maybe pick up different satellite to hit.
If you did, no one would join because it's not well paid unless you do specialist roles. I remember when I joined, my first pay packet was £500. And I remember I got this £500 and I was so happy. I was like, yes, I got £500 for my pay. Okay, I didn't do it for the money. I was doing it because there was a lot more to it back then. You felt like you were really part of something and defending the country and doing all these other things. Rightly or wrongly, right? A lot of the wars now are bankers' wars, of course, but rightly or wrongly, that's what you felt back then. And people don't feel that anymore because they see that the country's been betrayed. They see that even the multiculturalism.
Does that price run out after a certain time, like so many months or years, Jill?
Experiment.
A lot of times they'll do those offers to get you locked in, but then they charge you a bit more later.
I feel like it worked at the start where you had like the Caribbean nations, you had...
I agree, Tammy. I totally have tried to adjust that.
you'd have some people from China and some other places, India. I felt like it worked quite well. I know some of you won't feel the same way that I do, but I feel like back in the 80s sort of time period, it worked quite well. I didn't really see any issues.
Just 1 or 2 degrees, John, might make a huge difference. You might see a huge difference in it.
Back then, growing up in that period. But then all of a sudden, in the last decade, everything's changed dramatically. And you've got all these people from all sorts of other places, and you're not seeing integration, you're now seeing separate pockets. And that isn't how a society operates, with separate pockets, because now you're seeing any small thing, and you'll notice this geopolitically that happens. There's like a protest. Next week there's a protest, there's another protest, and they're all different pockets, and people aren't really on side anymore. So I think that's what they're missing. They don't seem to understand or get why people don't want to join the military. Gosh, that was a bit of a going off tangent now, wasn't it? Where did we get to with this? But yeah, they can't figure it out. They said they're going to have to update the war book because they just don't know. They're going to have to force people, in effect. And he even said that the threat by the UK to seize ships that are part of Russia's murky shadow fleet is already having an effect, even though British forces have yet.
Did you see that England had to rent a boat from Germany?
To board any vessels. Well, hold on.
They're not even taking care of their ships or any of their navy.
If it's having an effect, then why did 3 tankers go through the English Channel last week? And it was escorted by a Russian naval ship and nothing happened. So is it really having an effect? No, they just sail this stuff.
Yeah, there's a way with 2 people, someone on the roof can move it right and left and up and down and that kind of stuff to go and adjust it, John. I had a dish at one time, probably 12, 15 years ago.
But it isn't really true. He said the mere knowledge that London was ready to London was ready to target a sanctioned tanker was forcing Moscow to escort them or divert them away from UK waters. This isn't true. That's actually not happening. So this is interesting as well. So also another NATO member, Canada's military chief, and this is interesting because this is the Joint Expeditionary Force. So you'll hear me reference this as JEF as we go through. So she turned up with cars.
Actually, I think there's an app you can put on your phone. Maybe you can be on the roof and adjust it. They'll show where the positions of all the different satellites that you might use, and you might try to aim them at the different ones, and they'll tell you which one's working better or not.
And some of the others at this conference that they actually weren't part of, by the way. So JEF was 2012 when this was formed, and it was a lot of the Baltic nations and some of the Eastern European nations that formed this. So Canada weren't part of this, but all of a sudden now they've decided that they are going to become part of it. And she said that the country is now rearming on a scale not seen since the Cold
I agree with you, Tammy.
War. And I've got to show you this in black and white or you're not going to believe it, because some of the Canadians don't believe these when I say this stuff. I think you get too much propaganda in your country. So here it is. This includes expanding the full-time military, bolstering the number of reservists, and attempting to get up to 300,000 civilians. Here it is. 300,000 civilians to join a strategic reserve, a pool of people with some form of training, military training, that could be called upon in the event of a major crisis. The world has changed, she told Sky News. We have to get ready for large-scale conflicts, more conventional, so we need a different...
Okay, I got about 12 minutes left anyways, Dan.
Very interesting. Again, please leave comments as we're going through on the live stream.
You have to apologize for not being on yesterday. I had to deal with some messages with what's going on with Iran and that.
Stream here, because I'd like to know
Iran, the Kurdish people and
that. Your thoughts on this. But yeah, the JEF is part of a 10-force sort of expeditionary force, fellow NATO allies, as it were. I thought I had the list somewhere, but it's Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and even the Netherlands are actually part of this.
Okay, John.
So they say that this is much faster than NATO, and they can deploy.
They'd be probably better at it anyways.
Deploy a lot quicker than NATO can if they need to. So most people aren't even aware of JEF. They're aware of NATO, but they don't know that there's this other organization called JEF. But actually, I could tell you 5 or 6 other organizations that you've probably never heard of. There's all sorts of them for military alliances as well. There's one in Asia as well, a big one in Asia. So this is not looking good, my friends. It's really not. I wasn't sure how many people would get on the live stream today because I've never streamed.
What's everyone's vote? Are the people going to win, or is the government going to win in Ireland?
Well, not never, but it's been a long time since I've streamed at lunchtime in the UK. But we've got 3,000 people on the live stream already. Actually, more than that. It's going up as I'm talking, so that's great. So this was the other one then. This is the World War I book. So the government is to revive the World War I era manual, helping British people to prepare for the next war. Look, it's all in black and white. I have to show this because I feel like people have now become, what's the polite way to say it? No, I can't think of a way. People have become so brainwashed now that even when I tell all these things that are taking place, I get all these comments saying, this guy's a liar. He's making this up for clicks and all this other stuff. So I'm like, right, I'm going to have to show the articles a lot of the time. Otherwise, people, they really don't believe these things anymore. And even when we talk about conflict and war, people say, no, that's not going to happen. You're just saying this. And then when it actually comes up, people say, well, I don't believe it. Or it's a weird thing that's going on in the minds of people. Kind of sad. I feel bad actually for a lot of people who do watch way too much BBC News and some of the others news channels, because I actually think some of the best things you can do now, if you want to get as much news as possible, is to watch people who you know, like, and trust, and watch their.
I know some other ones that complain about Comcast, but I don't think they have the fiber optics with it though.
Coverage of news. Don't just watch the mainstream media, or if you do, make sure you get a broad perspective. But even then, when you look at the stats,
might be good.
It's over 90% of the media companies are all owned by. It's one parent group, and I won't go through that because I did a whole video on that. Many of you will remember. And I followed all the money and the shell corporations. And it was basically one parent group that owned nearly all the media. It was I think they were an Israeli group, funny enough, that owned all of this. So it was just crazy. Actually, I shouldn't even mention the word Israel, because this is where the videos get taken down or anything, or anything like that. So it's just crazy, all the stuff going on. So the UK is about to send hundreds of interceptor missiles to the Middle East within weeks. So this has just been confirmed. But the other one is half-term flights. Half-term flights are at risk now. Airport warn of fuel shortages. So they are expecting, again, look, you can see it here, black and white. They're expecting to run out within weeks. There's just no fuel left. And everyone was saying, oh yes, but Neil, the blockade,
buy from America, Venezuela.
The ceasefire now, and all the tankers are going to go around. And I said, okay, if you believe that's a real ceasefire, then sure.
Remember, this was recorded about 10 days ago.
If you go with what you think, and as soon as that,
no, there's some ships coming out. Not the normal number, but there is some.
In the last 24 hours. The amount of cargo planes, which this is really interesting, that were flying from the US to the Middle East region and then back again, back and forth, just non-stop runs or sorties, just non-stop, was wild. But it's not just the US, China's military cargo planes, transport planes, are also flying into Iran non-stop, just non-stop back and forth.
They're supplying them.
This is going to go really, really badly. I think this is going to be pretty serious. And I mentioned on Friday, some of the NATO countries are going to answer the call to send some equipment to the Strait of Hormuz. We've already got France and the Netherlands have said they're committing some military hardware. We're not sure what yet. They've just said we will, but they haven't said what they're going to send. But actually, the French contingent is not all as it.
I tried to get them all on the show the other day, 2 days ago, and they cut me off.
Seems, because Macron has got it.
It was Sunday I tried to do it, and I tried to do it with the other. There's two. When you come in the Rumble studio, you can go for the Legacy one or the new Beta one. Beta one's got some good features, but it's cut me off both times I've tried it.
His own agenda with his 15 countries that he's going to open the strait, and then Keir Starmer's got his 40-country alliance, and he's going to open the strait. So this is all political. It's all, be very, very careful. Anyway, is all I would say with believing a lot of this stuff. But the one thing I want to warn you about...
I don't think it cut me off intentionally. I think it just is still buggy.
It says travelers are unlikely to be covered in the event that your flight is cancelled. So they're saying that this is because this is what's it? I can't remember the exact term for it. Leave a comment below. But they're saying that because this isn't out of their control, it's not force majeure, it's something else. Because it's out of their control, that they can't refund everybody. They might give you a voucher or things like that. So just be wary of these things. Now, Trump said effective immediately, the United States Navy, the finest in the world, will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. I've also instructed our Navy...
They've done that, and now they're letting ones on our side, but keeping any one who's shipping to Iran or from Iran from going through. Everyone else can go through.
Navy to seek and interdict every vessel in international waters that's paid a toll to Iran. No one who pays an illegal toll will have safe passage. So that's what he said. And
okay. You'll get a break, huh?
Oil charts today then. 104, there we go. 104 on crude, 102 on Brent. And look how it's trending as well. You can see the trend line on this. This is going, so you're going to see 120. Yeah, you're probably going to see 120, 117, something around that region. Yeah, I'm going to call around 117 very, very shortly. Probably this week even.
Jill, is it limited data?
Don't trade that. Caveat, don't trade that. Yeah, this is not looking good, ladies and gents. This is
or limited speed, because I'm senior citizen too.
Not looking good. And also Iran said, well, if Trump's going to blockade the Strait of Hormuz, then they're going to blockade the Bab el-Mandeb Strait immediately.
They're not going to be able to do that. It's too far from them.
Immediately. But China's sending air defense system manpads to Iran. They're all loading up. I'm just looking at all the flights. They're all loading up. Trump said, well, if China's doing that, they're going to have big, big problems.
Yeah, I think they're stopping because he said that he's going to increase the tariffs on them, and that's what they care most about. Oh.
I think China's, because look, they're halting sulfuric acid exports as well. China's just deployed 100 naval and coast guard vessels in and around the South China Sea. Pakistan's talking about entering the conflict as well. Turkey is giving warnings to...
they're not getting in. None of them are getting in. If anything, they'll get in on our side, if anything. All right, I'm going to move on to the more about the Irish thing. I thought the whole thing was about Irish, but it wasn't totally. This one was good. This is a guy in the Irish Parliament arguing about this.
The reality is they've blamed Trump for absolutely everything. We've heard government get up and stand about Trump. Donald Trump isn't in charge of NORA. He's not in charge of the carbon tax in this country. He's not in charge of that in this country. And he's not in charge of excise. What did Sean Kenny do? He said, go out and walk or go out and cycle. What did big James Bond himself go out and do? He said, we'll turn the army on our own citizens, which is reminiscent of something that you would hear in South America. It is reminiscent of a Pyrrhonist. And then we have the man that turned away from the woman in Kentucky not so long ago, but during the this election and we didn't want to hear. And all of a sudden, he's gaslighting the country, saying he's concerned. He's concerned about the 900,000 people on waiting lists. All of a sudden.
Oh, John, you might be right. It might be moving around in the wind.
He's concerned about the 60,000 people on housing lists. He's concerned about the 116,000 people that are waiting for HAP. That's what this government is concerned about. You're concerned about nothing, only serving yourselves. And I applaud Deputy Healy-Rae, and I say well done to him for having a bit of backbone. And if those that turned up at the protests down in Whitegate or anywhere else in the country, in Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, that turned up there and said, we're with you lads, and we're going to get rid of Micheál in a couple of weeks. If any of you have any bit of backbone, join with Healy-Rae and vote against this government, and let's call the election. Thank you.
So I get for trying to type real fast there, John. You might be right, John. Hit the Y and the E wrong. All right, everyone. Take care. God bless. It worked all the way through it. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless.